we met this doctor who does research and also feeds people and teaches them how to feed themselves according to what you do and how you behave and what you expect of yourself. So we brought her here, and she was more than happy to come to talk to you about eating to be your best possible creative. Her name is Dr. Shane Jackson. Can we have a round of applause for No, come now. Don't come. Yeah, I'm saying.
Good afternoon. I am so pleased to be here. I'm used to audiences way, way bigger than this because I work for the governor as well inside the state of Michigan in control of health. I appreciate Judith and Sharon bringing me here, but also Shaggy saying this is something that we need to actually have a conversation about, which is tying together mental health and nutrition. Because even for you to be an artist, even for you to be a magician, even for you to actually be in control of artists, it's very important for you to keep your mental health together. You see many artists, you see many magicians taking their lives at a very high number, and it has a lot to do with the correlation of how we feed ourselves. So I put together a small presentation about feeding our mind, and as you see, this is mental health and nutrition, so I'm gonna get started with the clicker. This is myself. I am a very busy girl. I have been recognized this month, which is Black History Month, for the whole entire month. They're talking about me in Michigan and running me all over the news for the whole entire month. I am the CEO of Healthy Just Feels Right. I am also a certified holistic nutritionist. That means everything that I do is holistic. Yes. No medication, because that's how we were actually birthed, with no medication. That everything we got out of the earth. We healed ourselves from the earth. That's why we had things from the earth, because that's what it's there for, to heal us. Also, I am the Clara White winner, which is the most prestigious award that you can get inside Michigan. I am the winner last year. And so, yes. And many, many things after that. And also, I am You Are What You Eat, which is first-time fathers, educating them on how to actually feed their kids properly. And then my first book will be coming out in April, which is a children's book, Rainbow Power. That's me. Those are my inmates. And I'm going to run a clip right quick of what I do inside the county jail. So it's going to be really, really small, if they can click it on here. Waiting for the cue. Can we see it on?
What do we need to do as a community to reduce violent crime?
And now it's time to reprogram ourselves. The time is now.
The 6 weeks working with Shane Jackson may be just what you need to get rolling and to create a new life.
You can get the therapy, but you've also got to get the nutrition. If you don't eat right, you don't feel right.
I really believe that her program is going to change the world.
What you're doing is changing culture around the nation.
Our diet has a direct impact on our mood and also our mental health.
I think this class should be something to be taught everywhere.
Everywhere, what do you mean everywhere?
Around the world.
Thank you. I mean, this is what the country is watching, is how do you do something that's so unorthodox, log the data, and then repeat.
We are about to change the complete narrative of criminal justice.
It's a culture. Amen? Amen!
This is what I call fire. So just like that, even though a person is actually locked up, that everyone deserves a second chance. So the program is set up to educate them through incarceration. So when they come out, that they can actually be productive citizens in society so they don't make those mistakes again. But a lot of us, as you notice my guys, have been mothered incorrectly, have been fathered incorrectly, and we all were fed the way our mother fed us and how her mother fed her, and it was just a cycle that repeated itself. But now we're living in a whole new world with a lot of different things in the food, hormones, things of that nature, and we got to reprogram ourselves. We can't do things the way we used to do them. Food and mood. Do you actually know that there's a connection between food and mood? Yes. You feel that is? I'm glad that you feel that way because I feel that way, and that's why I did my dissertation to prove that it was such thing far as the things you eat controls your mood. So do you feel better when you eat certain things? And you can actually feel when you eat, huh? Kale, that's the queen of greens. She runs the show. I say get plenty of kale in your diet because you'll be here for a lot longer. That's what she does. Also, you feel worse. M&Ms, Oreos, late night ice cream, deep fried chicken. And when I say deep fried, I just watched some deep fried chicken at a gas station when I walked just to walk around Jamaica. And I'm like, whoa, that was deep fried chicken. I mean, the grease was still rolling off the chicken. I'm serious. It was on a napkin. It was soaked. So what do nutrition got to do with mental health? It has a lot to do with mental health. What we put in our bodies is actually what fuels our brain. That means it makes you make logical decisions. Usually when a lot of people are known for walking to the door and they be like, what was I just about to grab? I don't even know. And they got to sit back down and try to figure out what I was about to grab because why? My body is telling me that I need to increase something inside my diet to help with my memory. But guess what? We have two brains. Two brains? Do you know that? Yes, this is your first one. How you feed this one actually determines how this one reacts. So your food, whatever I put in here, it has to go here, and then it comes out to the rest of my body to feed this. This is your first brain. So I educate people to let them know you have two brains. And this is the one right here you're in control of to control the thinking pattern, the depression, the anxiety, the bipolarism, things of that nature, because a lot of us are not depressed. A lot of us do not have anxiety. A lot of us don't even have bipolarism. A lot of us have nutrition deficiency disorder. That's what we have. But see, as long as you get in that doctor's office and you know you got the pharmaceuticals company lined up, they're going to line their pockets and the doctor's going to line theirs too. You have bipolar. You have depression. And you roll with it. But that's not what it is. So it's just important for you to actually put the important things inside your body. And so this presentation is going to show you a few things of what you can do instead of leaning on the medication. Proportion control. We really don't need meat. We don't need meat. I'm just being honest. As you see how this whole program is set up, monthly, we can do meat. Monthly, not daily. Then weekly, we can have in a little bit of sweets. You see just one little smig of ice cream. And then we have in our eggs. We have chicken. We also have a little bit of fish, cheese and yogurt. And I say cheese, that means cheddar is better. And I tell people that constantly. That's why it rhymes with better, because cheddar is better. It's good vitamin D because a lot of us as African American people, we lack vitamin D. We're very low. We run on the low side, so that's why COVID had numbers out the WEWA with African American people, because we are those who lack vitamin D. So it took us down quicker than any other culture. Olive oil, I love it. My best friend. I cook with it all the time. That's all I use. Vegetable oil, I do not. Canola oil, every now and then for some people, but for me, I'm strictly olive oil. The darker the bottle, the better it is. Fruits, beans, and more beans. That's where I get my meat from. If I really want meat, I do a black bean burger, and I mean, it's just like a turkey burger. Yes. I mean, I have to put it together for you like I do inside the jail to show you and make you believe that that's what I do. Veggies, bread and pasta. A lot of us do need bread, but that goes down to blood type dieting. We'll get at the very end of my presentation about those who actually can have the bread and who cannot. But this is like a daily thing. Physical activity, get up. Take your trash out. Walk a couple blocks. You need the cardio. The more you move, the more younger you feel. You got to use it or you will lose it. Yes, you got to move it. I get up. I walk and people are like, well, I don't have time to go work out, Miss Jackson. I said, well, do you watch Netflix? Girl, all the time. I said, how long the movie usually be? Oh, about 2 hours. You have time. You have time to get up and actually do a physical activity. Walk around your house 50 times if you want to. You can do it. Good cardio. Black rice? Amazing. Black rice is a brain food. White rice, I say go jasmine. Jasmine's a lot more healthier. As you see in Japan, they're the most healthiest place to live, and they're the most happiest. Jasmine rice. So eating well, what exactly is eating healthy? That consists of actually reducing your consumption in salt, increasing your fiber, actually having 3 meals a day. Have those snacks in between. I tell people, they said, Miss Jackson, I'm trying to get this snatch body. How do I eat right? How do I have a healthy way of eating? Get up in the morning time. I said, don't drink coffee. Drink warm water and add some lemon to it. It has the same effect of coffee. Identical, and it wakes your brain all the way up. Next, I'll have a snack in between. I may have a boiled egg, and I may have some berries, dark berries. And I'm hearing berries is very expensive here. Berries back home, it's like $2.19. I'm hearing they $16 here. That's a problem. That's a major problem for me because people need berries, a lot of berries. That's a brain food that keeps us thinking properly. And that's an antioxidant that keeps us from being sick. We need berries. A lot of berries. We were actually built on a Mediterranean diet. That means a lot of fish, a lot of green food, a lot of berries. And so we're not getting these things anymore. So a lot of us are dying in high numbers. Get plenty of water. Your body cannot move without it. Guess what? Your brain can't think without the water. It should be half your body weight. Half your body weight and divide it off into ounces. Just as simple as that. But you got to have the water. It's the only way your brain's going to think right. So creating healthy habits, snack on fruits, snack on veggies. And these were things I was bringing in for the guys. They had never had yellow watermelon. They had never had dragon fruit. Things that was actually preventing men from having cancer because men are known to have prostate cancer. And they're not known to go to the doctor to get checked. So what do I do to make sure that my man is covered since he don't want to go to the doctor? Green, and more greens in this food, girl. Greens on his tacos. When you do him a burger, cut up green foods inside the patty. Make sure he get his greens every single day. Do him a salad and make it colorful for him. Because usually with the colors, people understand colors easier. Their brain turns on and says, ooh, that looks kind of good when it's colorful. You want to try it. But if I drop a green salad in front of you, you'll be like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to try that. I don't eat salads. But the more color I add to you, you'll be more excited about it. But actually reduce butter, please. Go olive oil butter if you love butter. Gravy, fall back on that as well. But I'm not a chicken eater. I am a borderline pescatarian. I'm AB. That means I'm going to have a lot of fish inside my diet, but we'll talk at the very end of the presentation about that. Once again, half your water weight. Try to eat 50% of your diet raw. That's why I said as far as veggies, lay off the meat. They are using a lot of steroids and things of that nature that now our chicken used to be this size and now they're this size. So you want to make sure that you lay off eating. Yes? Mulberry? Are they berries? Yeah. As long as it's in the berry family, that's what's important. The darker, the better. And that's really the truth. The sweeter it is. That is really the truth. So guess what? I'm going through depression, right? I don't want to take the medication. A handful of cashews is equivalent to 1 Prozac. 1 Prozac. Why didn't my doctor tell me this? Because the pharmaceutical company and the doctor, it's like a marriage. And so they're not going to tell you that they can give you the pharmacy, which is F-A-R-M, pharmacy. Yes, that's a prescription. Instead of giving you a prescription for the pharmacy, they give you a prescription for medication. So you scratch my back, I scratch yours, and we just mix together, and this is a happily married. We're married. So when he get paid, I get paid. More medication. Vitamin B, very, very important for the brain. So that means we're going to have those dark leafy foods. We're going to have some tuna, whole grains, lots and lots of beans. That's B. But that is actually good to prevent the cause of depression. You ask, well, why she always keeps stressing about mental health? What does she know? I am a survivor. I know what it feels like to be in that dark place. I know what it's like to be already with my serum already laid out of how I was going to go and how my funeral is going to be. I was there. But it took me to heal myself holistically for me to share this gift with the world, because they don't want you to talk about this part about mental health, how to heal yourself. They want to be in your pockets at all time, but you can also take care of yourself on your own through your own pockets and not giving your money to them. Vitamin C, also, strawberries, when you look at it, when you cut it open, it looks like a heart. It's good for your heart. It keeps it beating healthy. Just because your mom had high blood pressure, oh, my grandma was diabetic, it's in my family, that has nothing to do with you. You are the driver in your life. You are the one that decides what goes in and out your body. That do not mean that you're going to have cancer. That does not mean you're going to have high blood pressure. That does not mean you're going to have diabetes. That means it's ending a generational habit, and it starts with you. You have to claim it. I'm not going to have what my mom had. I'm not going to have what my grandma had. I'm not going to have what my papa had. I'm going to go ahead and live my life according to how I want to live, and I'm going to eat differently. But also teach my kids at the same time. Magnesium. A person that's deficiency also in depression runs very low in it. So where do I get it from? And they said, internationally the study was done that the higher rates of depression and suicide were seen in countries with magnesium deficiency. So if a person is actually, you see all over the place where it's lacking. Texas is one of them where I noticed was a lot of depression going on, but there's a lot of suicides, but also where it's food disparity. Food disparity actually affect a lot of suicides. If I can't get the food, you find people very depressed. You feel a lot of people going through bipolarism. A lot of people are dealing with anxiety because what do my next meal looks like? So how do they go by getting these collard greens? How do they go by getting these leafy foods, these nuts? If I eat a handful of nuts a day, walnuts, it prevents me from having a heart attack by 60%. 60%. A handful of nuts, walnuts, a day. That's a handful. I want to prevent my chances of ever having a heart attack. I don't want to ever see what that feels like, so I always eat nuts, a lot. Zinc, 1/4 of individuals that actually suffer from depression are actually low in that as well. So how do we raise it? So we raise it by actually eating things like whole grains, split peas. I'm a broccoli girl. Pecans, that is my favorite. Pecans, and more pecans, because I am originally from Arkansas. I'm a country girl, and they had pecan trees. And I used to always, jump my neighbor's tree and fence and go steal pecans all the time. They didn't like that. But mental health and our modern American diet, that means this is affecting us as a whole entire culture. Whether you're in the U.S. or not, this falls up under the same identical thing, that we are not known for really eating healthy. We're known for being sugar eaters. Sugar more. I said, do you like coffee? The guy said, yes. I said, so how do you take your coffee? He said, I usually take 10 creams and 10 sugars. I said, excuse me, so basically you put 10 sugars, you put coffee into 10 creams and 10 sugar. He said, no. I put 10 creams, 10 sugars in my coffee. I said, no, you're not drinking coffee anymore. You're drinking 10 creams and 10 sugars. It's not even coffee anymore. So definitely start taking a look at that or what you're consuming inside your body, because 1 out of every 10 Americans actually consume a very, very low amount of veggies. We're not veggie eaters at all in America. When you actually see kids, they be like, I don't eat that stuff. Why you don't eat that? Because it look nasty. You never tried it, I know, but it just looked nasty. Then when I introduce it to them, then they're excited like, Mom, oh my goodness, I like avocado. Oh my goodness, I had broccoli. Oh my God, I had cauliflower. That's the one I get them with every single time is cauliflower. It's a different color. I don't like that. But you never do that to a child. Even for us to be a whole collective as the world, you never say you don't like something in front of a kid, because why? They don't like it either. Once they see mom and dad say, they look around, they be like, I don't like it either. Never say that. I trick my son every single time. I be like, oh my goodness, this is so good. And then he looks at me and be like, I want to try. I sucker him every single time, and knowing that, I may not even like what I was eating, but I got him to eat it. So definitely, junk food has increased. More and more junk food. When I was walking around by the hotel, and I noticed so many kids eating candy. I mean, they were tearing it up. They had a whole group, I think it was like maybe 20 kindergartners walking through the park, and they had candy. And I was like, they about to be wired over here. But I just observed and watched, and then she asked who I was, and I told her, and she was like, oh, this is just a treat for them. But they could have had treat fires of fruit or, some veggies and dip or something like that. And so with this diet, it actually increases your chances of cancer. Alzheimer's is something that now people are talking about a lot, and dementia. You keep hearing that word over and over with our elderly population, that they are now raising this. At first, we didn't have this conversation. We didn't hear about Alzheimer's. We didn't hear about dementia. But now, we entered this whole new century. This is all we hearing now. But guess what? If we actually put our older people on a Mediterranean diet, that will actually reduce the chances of them ever having to hear that word. And they'll be able to live on their own, because a lot of them don't want them at our house for some strange reason. Like, I don't want my papa living with me, or I don't want my grandma living with me. But these are just studies that they had to actually show, that you start having kidney function issues, liver function issues, cholesterol, and then asthma. What do we do about asthma? Did you not know when you think about asthma that your lungs look like little bitty circles? That means it looks like grapes. That it actually, if your child was having an asthma attack, you can give them grapes if you can't find the inhaler, and it will stop them from having an attack. Grapes. Yes. You are what you eat. God had already given us the whole entire recipe for medicine. He gave it to us, and we're not using it, but we can use it. It's in our backyard the whole entire time, that we can start growing our stuff and actually living the way we want to live. So they did a research about depression and food, and they had 67 men and women who were dealing from moderate to severe depression. And that's a lot of people. But some of the people, what they started, you had to be really, really honest about what you were eating. And anybody that works with me, I tell them, you have to be honest with how you're eating. You got to lay it out, like how your day consists of. In order for me to design a plan for you, I need to know how you eat for real. I don't want to hear all this clean stuff, you know what I'm saying? I do a salad here, I drink a lot of water. Well, you don't need me then. Why aren't you calling me? But that's what they usually do. They give me the beautiful story. So that means you don't need me. I need to know the nasty story, how you really eat. How you up late nights and one row of the Oreos you eat, at about 10 o'clock, and by midnight you already killed the second row. I need to hear those things, because that usually happens. So this study ran for like 3 months. And so they had one group that actually was consistently getting therapy. The other was actually eating right. So look what happened. Those who was eating right, depression went down. But those who was getting the therapy were still having issues. The food changed the mood. That they didn't even need the medication. So you mean you had one half of my group that was actually getting therapy for their depression and anxiety and being bipolar, and my other group, we just gonna feed them the right way. We're all whole food, real food. Those that were getting the real food, that's where they saw the reduction of the depression. Those who were getting the therapy, they were still having depression. Well, you could have just gave everybody the food, but that's how studies go. We have to split the group up to see, who is group A and who is group B. So the role of omega-3, I love this. We had fish last night at the dinner. I was so in awe, because I am an omega-3 girl. This is something that has a major effect on your mental health. Salmon, and more salmon. Tuna, I love it. Tuna and wheat crackers. Oh my goodness, that's me. But this is something that actually regenerates brain cells for yourself. When you get to the point where you're just forgetting things, it's time to increase that omega-3. That's what your body is telling you. Is my mic going out? Then also, like I said, Japan, healthiest place to live. They're living to 100 and so years old. I'm trying to be here to 125. Yes. I promise you that. I'm trying to be here till 1:25, and I already swore to it that I will be here. I got stuff to do and places to go and people to see. Walnuts, when you look at it, it looks just like your brain. It's a brain food. I keep telling you that God already gave you the recipe because you are what you eat. So when you crack that walnut open, it looks just like the indentations of your brain. It's for your brain. So I tell the inmates all the time, when you feel like you're getting low and you don't really feel like what's going on, I don't know why I feel this way, grab you some nuts. When I tell you the rate of what we have far as inmate on correction officer crime inside of the jail was at 73%. Once the class came inside the jail, it went down to 3%. 3%. If you start to feed people a certain type of way, they start to respond a certain type of way. So also, chia seeds is another one. I always tell people add that to your smoothies. Hemp seeds, flax seeds, pumpkin seeds. If you are low in iron, pumpkin seeds is going to be your best friend. Oh, I'm cold all the time. I don't know why I'm cold. Get you some pumpkin seeds. I throw them in the oven, add a little Himalayan salt to them, and I eat them that way. Next, we have amino acids in mental health. So we have tyrosine, and then we have, I always struggle with this word, tryptophan. So these are 2 amino acids, and they have a strong effect on your mood and mental health. Very, very important to have these. So I'm a brown egg girl. I'm sorry, I am. I just do brown eggs and brown eggs only because a lot of them have a lot of vitamin D in it, vitamin B12, and I need that for energy because I'm on the go all the time. I'm not a turkey eater. I'm a lot of fish. The only part of the chicken that I would eat would be the breast. That was me. Nothing else I would have wanted from the chicken. Seaweed, I do it a lot. Put it inside a smoothie. Beets, my best friend. Artichoke, spinach. This is for if you got a man, keep that in his diet. Because like I said, it's such thing as prostate cancer. Bananas, and more bananas. When you turn a banana up, it looks like a smiley face. Good for depression. Yes, bananas. Every day, just get one out the door and you already had your happy food for the day. I'm telling you. I got an 8-year-old and he loves them, and I swear he's part monkey, for sure. Vitamins. Vitamin D. This is us. This is where we lack at. So where do we pull it from? We pull it from the sun. When you're in the house, do not close the blind, people. Open them up. It's okay. But a lot of people like to be in the dark. But yet we need the vitamin D. Open the blinds up, people, because that is one thing that actually increases our serotonin level and makes us feel good and raises our mood. 3/4 of our teenagers and adults suffer from this deficiency. That means that's 75% of the population. That means everybody in this room minus, maybe 25 people or so is the only ones that not suffering. I'm probably one of them that's not suffering because I eat a lot of it. And it's so crazy because the doctor will say get 10 to 20 minutes in the sun. It's okay. Go outside. I have a lot of people that do not go outside. They close their blinds and they just shut the door. And they don't go outside. But then they are depressed, very depressed. Just open up the blinds and let the sun in and get 10 to 20 minutes in and then close the blinds right back up. It's okay. So what do we have next? Vitamin B. This is a role that actually plays to impact the mood of your behavior as well. And so within the study, they found that a lot of men inside the jail, minus the women was not suffering from B12, but a lot of the men were. And this had a lot to do with a lot of the things they did. Criminal behavior. If I don't eat right, I don't feel right. It's a such thing called being hangry. You hungry and you angry. But guess what? They pull up at Taco Bell, and not only do they get not 6 tacos, they get 12 tacos. 12. And then they're going to get a Baja Blast that is super large, full of sugar, which is over the capacity of what they should have for a day. So if you was talking about sugar, who's allowed to have more sugar, a male or a female? Who allowed to have more sugar, male or a female? We say male? Males are more. They're allowed to have 9 teaspoons of sugar a day, women 7. Yes, their bone mass is different from ours, so they can withstand a lot more than what we can. But that don't mean y'all go overboard, man, with the sugar at all. But they're allowed to have way more than what we are. So with the vitamin D, we're going to get the tomatoes in. Same thing with the tomatoes. When you cut it open, you look like the chambers of the hearts. When you split it and you see the muscle in between of the tomato, that's what it's for, your heart. It keeps it healthy and it keeps it strong. But a lot of my men always say, I don't do tomatoes. Like, ugh. You know, I eat it, you know what I'm saying, within a spaghetti, but I don't just do it. They don't like it. Back to eggs, shellfish, wild caught fish. I love wild caught fish. I'm a crappie girl. I'm from Arkansas, so they call them specks there. Then magnesium. This is the stress antidote. That's what the doctor calls it, but yeah, he prescribes me pharmaceutical stuff. But yeah, he says this is my antidote, but yeah, he knows what to give me as far as beans and things of that nature, but he don't tell me that part. He just go ahead and write the prescription up. And then one thing about a doctor, you always have to remember that your doctor never asks you, you know, say for instance that I go to the doctor and I say, Judith, Miss Judith, my knee is hurting and you put me on 500 milligrams of pain medication and I don't think it's working for me, Miss Judith. So Miss Judith said, well, you know what, Miss Jackson, we're going to go up on your medication. She's going to give me 1,000 now. So I come back a week later and I said, Miss Judith, it's still hurting really bad. So she go up again. I'm at 1,500 milligrams of pain medication. So a couple days pass. I'm still in all this pain, and I just don't know why. And what your doctor do? Go up again. But Miss Judith never asked me, how was my diet? Had I been getting any kind of water? Had I been eating any type of fruit? Or am I going through any type of stress? Because when you're stressing, your knee will hurt, the bottom part of your back will hurt, and the bottom part of your back will hurt, right at the occipital at the bottom. When you're stressing, those are stress pains. Knee, back, here. Stress. You will cause your own pains by just stressing. And you're going to the doctor for medication, and your doctor never even thought to ask you, are you stressing? How do you eat? And what do your water intake look like? Because water has a lot to do with it, too, while I'm aching, and aching bad. Sugar on the brain. Ooh-wee. So this is not a good thing. So a lot of people are known for sugar for everything. Sugar for spaghetti, sugar for rice, sugar for oatmeal, sugar and more sugar for coffee. Sugar is not a good idea because this actually becomes addictive behavior. This actually runs off into memory loss, that you start forgetting things just from all the sugar that you're taking inside and actually giving your brain. Because remember what I said, you got to take it here first in order for it to go right here second. So you got to be very, very careful with a lot of the sugar that you're getting. But also, sugar is not sugar anymore. It's called a cytotoxins. So it's actually put inside your food to actually slow up the process of how you think and how you feel. And a lot of our babies are getting the cytotoxins. And it looks like Cheerios. It looks like Lucky Charms. It looks like Fruit Loops. It looks like Skittles. It looks like Starburst. It looks like Red Pop. It looks like anything that have an editor to it. And guess what we do? Go get one of them Kool-Aid drinks and get out of my face. And your baby is bouncing all off the ceiling. But guess what? Adults do that too. They go get a pop, and the more lighter the pop it is, the more better it is for your body. So go light, Sprite, 7-Up. But once you start going dark, which is the most sugary drink you can drink is a grape drink. Oh my goodness, it's the only one that has the most sugar in it. If it's grape, it has more sugar. They say, well, more than Coke? More than Dr. Pepper? Yes. Grape has more. It takes more sugar to make that color grape. And so there's a lot more sugar into that. Also, it increases your chances of depression just by having the sugar. So start being more aware of the sugar that you're putting inside your body, but also just turn over and just read the label. It's just as simple as that. So you will know exactly what you're putting inside your body and what you are giving to your child, because I always educate people to say, are you eating to live or are you eating to die? You have to make a choice. And I always just have to keep stressing that, because a lot of people are really trying to eat to die because they're not being cautious about the things they're putting inside their bodies. The impact of your digestive system. You have to pay close attention to the food, how they're made, and how you prepare it. That means that deep fried chicken that they did at the gas station that I was watching, I was like, ooh, I'm like, let me get to it. And I just wanted to see what it was going to look like because I wasn't going to eat it. But I'm always doing, recording things and, just seeing what it's like. And then when I set the chicken on top of the napkin had just soaked straight through. It was deep fried chicken. It was just full of grease. And I'm like, this is right here, if I ate this every single day, will cause my heart to harden. Why? Grease is known to solidify. So if I eat this, it goes in wet, but it gets hard in my arteries. So when I'm running and I feel that hard bump, and I'm like, oh, what was that? And it skips a beat, it should never skip a beat. That means I need to get myself checked out because I may have hardening of my arteries. That means that you may be threatening one day a heart attack or one day a stroke because of the things that you're putting inside your body. But how do I flush this, Miss Jackson? Green, and more green food. Green. Run it through your body. Cucumbers, kale, spinach, collard greens, broccoli, split peas. Green and more greens. Flush your body, detox your body. You have to shut it down sometime. For real. Mindful eating. Mindful eating is just sitting down at the table with your peoples and just taking the meal in. Do not just eat and swallow. Chew, people, because you're going to still be hungry. Just chew the food. I'm sitting there eating my food last night at the dinner, and I'm noticing how everyone was just they were eating and swallowing. And I'm like, am I the only one chewing and just really enjoying the food? Because you just have to enjoy the food, and then you won't be hungry. And I wasn't hungry. That I didn't even really eat everything on my plate because I was chewing at a pace, and I was actually, swallowing at a pace and enjoying my food. But also take notes of the color and then aromas of the food. Smelling the garlic. So that's a wake up for you, and garlic is good for infection. I'm putting garlic on everything. Mom, you putting garlic? More garlic, please. More garlic, please. I'm a garlic person, but that's from the earth. That is a natural antibiotic. God gave that to us. Garlic. Spoonful of that when you feel like I got a cough or a sneeze, boom, and it's gone the next day. Garlic. Yes, natural antibiotic. Give yourself appreciation and joy when you're receiving the food. Just take a moment and just deeply just breathe after you ate. What happened was with COVID was a lot of us gained a lot of weight. And that's because we were alone a lot inside our house. And they called it kushishabishi. Lonely stomach. That means even though we wasn't hungry, we was in the house and we paced. And we paced. And we paced. And we just kept going to the refrigerator and opening and just looking. And grabbing stuff out. Even though we wasn't hungry, it was the point we were alone. It was just time to eat. Eat something. I don't know, but I'm just here. I'm just going to eat. So they called it kushishabishi. And so they're doing a study right now because kushishabishi came out of Japan. And I can't wait to see what the number's going to look like because a lot of us did gain a lot of weight, post-COVID. A lot of weight. Oh, eat within your blood type. We are winding it down. Guess what? A lot of us are not eating within our blood type, and you wonder why you can't lose that weight. You wonder why you don't feel so healthy. You wonder why you feel so sad. Because you are eating things that your body should not even have and does not even require. But we eat it anyways because it's so good and I can't let it go. But your blood type doesn't require certain things. We have O, which is a universal diet, which they can just pretty much, they funny about their dairy, they hurt real bad. They are the people that's known for having intestine issues. AB, that would be me. Hello. I am that pescatarian girl. I can have seafood on top of seafood on top of seafood on top of seafood every single day. I am not known for red meat at all because guess what? I take it from my beans. So I get my meat that way. And so it's okay for me not to. I haven't had red meat in over 10 years. My body does not require it at all. When I was eating that way, where I was getting things that I shouldn't have had, I was at my lowest in my life. I couldn't concentrate. I was really not even able to focus on my studies for me to even pull a PhD. Like there was no way I was going to continue on in a program where I couldn't function properly, that I was not myself. Who I was back then, people are shocked at who I am right now because the way I changed the way I eat, and this is why, because of blood type eating. But definitely, probably stay as much as possible in this thing. My website is going to be up, so a lot of this information you'll be able to pull from there. I brought some flyers, but I wasn't anticipating a crowd this big. I thought I was going to be in a smaller room, so I did bring flyers, though. And then my closing thoughts is just concerning yourself with your nutrient-dense food. Stop being patient. Stop being a patient and start being a person. Tell your doctor exactly how you feel. Do not sit in the doctor's office and say, he always come back in and say, do you have any more questions for me? You're like, no, I'm good. And then when you walk out, you're like, dang, I should have asked him. No, he is your doctor. Ask him 1,001 questions if you want to. I don't care if you feel a little bitty switch inside your chest, and it was 2 days ago. You say something about it. Don't wait till your family, somebody is finding you in another room if you ain't had a heart attack. Say exactly what you feel. Everybody wants to, I don't know what it is. I don't want to be a patient. I want to be a person. But a lot of people got to the point they just want to be a patient. They want to keep going to the doctor and just talking about this and putting on this medication and pulling this benefit and that benefit. But I'm trying to be here for longevity. So if this presentation can actually add 8 to 10 more years onto you on your life, so be it, because that's what I'm about. I'm about pushing longevity. I'm about pushing holistic. I'm about actually saving my people, because if don't nobody else say it, I'm going to say it. I make a lot of people uncomfortable. I work for the governor. So just think I'm the elephant in the room. Yes, because I'm going to say some things that ain't nobody else in the room going to say, and especially when it comes to health. But also when it comes to nutrition, people, it's the other way around. Physical activity is only 20%. 80% is the nutrition part. That's the hard part. People I'm like, so what did it take for you to stay healthy? Girl, 80% working out and just 20% how I eat. I'm like, no. It's the other way around. It's only 80% nutrition, 20% physical activity. Trust me, I had a guy, 307 pounds, when he seen me. This was July. He has a really, really big gut, and his woman is, she's beautiful. He said every time he went out, he was embarrassed because he got this amazing-looking wife standing next to him, but he grew this gut that he said can't seem to get rid of. He in the gym every day. He working out every day. 80% of the time, 20% was the nutrition part. So we flipped it. So my 307 guy right now is 240 pounds. 240 pounds. And now she said he is too little because he don't look like a teddy bear to her. But he's going to be alive, wife, for a very long time, wife. So that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to eat to live and not eat to die. So that's what it's about. But educate yourself when it not going to medication. Education is important. That's why I say education, not medication. So when something is going wrong, if you can look up and say, hey, what is Prozac? But what if it's equivalent to if I can get it the natural way? And guess what's going to come up is cashews. Man, I can go to the store and get me some cashews because I can't afford no Prozac to be buying these every single month. And I can go get some cashews and eat these every now and then. I'll be fine. So go holistic as much as you possibly can, and your choice will determine your output. If you want that snatch body, you can't be sitting on the couch watching Netflix every single day eating that ice cream and Oreos and you want to get snatched. That ain't the way. You're going to have to get up. You're going to have to get active. You're going to have to get to moving. And then you have people to live for, kids to live for, family members to live for. But also, drugs don't promote health. When you start getting on medication, guess what usually happens? Something else happens afterwards. Now your liver is affected. Now your kidneys is affected. Now you got an ulcer growing somewhere because guess what? Your liver is your garbage disposal. And whatever you put into your body, it got to come out this liver. And that means it's going to put out into every other place inside your body. And guess whatever you're lacking in, the most potent place inside your body is your bones. So if you're not going to feed me right, your body going to say, guess what? I don't care. You ain't even got to give it to me because I'm going to take it from your bones. And that's what it does. It takes what it needs. And then when you bump into something, now you got this big old hematoma on your leg, like, what? Where did this come from? My body is telling me that I require more things for me to be a whole person. But also, just bad moods is not a failure to get enough vitamins and minerals. Put those vitamins inside your diet if you want to get the vitamins. But me, I'm holistic. I'd rather pull it from the food. It's just easier for me to do it. And thank you for listening. And I know y'all have a ton of questions. So how are we going to do these questions? Because I see hands going up already. Somebody going to take the mic out?
Thank you so much for that.
because I am a strong believer. I'm right here. I am a strong believer in eating to live. But I have an issue with how do we source clean foods? Because you know that even though we're speaking on eating vegetables and grains and all of that, we have to think about the chemicals that are also being placed in these grains and these fruits as well. So my question is, how would you recommend or suggest that we find clean source
And so I always bring people back to, you know, I'm a country girl. And so these heels and dresses really not my thing. I'm more like Air Max and a cowboy hat, and, you know, I like fishing and stuff like that. My grandmother and them used to grow their stuff. I'm an herbal person. That means I grow my herbs in my kitchen. My cilantro, my basil. Everything is actually in a small little pot in my kitchen that I grow myself. My mint. A lot of stuff you can do by picking up the seeds and growing them right inside your house. Even like for onions, you can regrow them too in your house in water. They don't even need dirt to grow onions again. You know what I'm saying? You just cut a certain part out, you keep the bottom root of it and just sit it in water and it regrows itself. And you can do it right in the kitchen. So I say, you know, take your backyard, a small little part of it or whatever, and I say grow your own, but also how you clean it. You know, lemon with water to clean the fruits and stuff off because they cover it with, you know, to make it look super, super pretty. I have to wash this stuff, but you never, ever clean your veggies and fruits. Only when you're ready to eat them because they're like us. They have pores. So as soon as you wet them with water, it automatically speeds up the process of them to eat them. That means they rot fast. And never put onions and potatoes together because onion gives off the oxygen to tell the potato to continue to grow. Then all of a sudden you have these little buds that grow all over it, so you always keep them separated. But definitely go far as trying to continue to grow your own, but how you clean them as well. I'm really big on that I had my son growing green tomatoes on our patio this weekend in his own little pot, this summer, in his own little pot, and we had literally 8 tomatoes of our own growing on this stem, on this vine, and he was fascinated. But this is just more and more about if you get the kids more involved, the more and more they are eager to actually try the things. But grow it on your own. Just go start small and then work your way up big. Or even like, I don't know, do Jamaica have a community garden? But I think that's something that you guys should be focused on is getting a community garden for everybody to be able to go to. And if you don't have assistance with that, I can help with that because I'm helping a lot of churches with community hoop houses. So it's a lot to that, but it's good, healthy food being grown the right way. You're welcome.
Hello.
Next question.
Hi, I'm Tiffany. I have 4 children and a partner. I'm originally from America, as you can tell. Spend a lot of time in the South, so you know what my diet is and what the things that I cook, right? And then my partner, also a lot of fried foods, a ton. So, and my kids have the same diet. I love everything that you shared. I love some tips on transitioning our entire family into that, because we've tried before, but it's a little bit of a shock to the children and ourselves, and we go through withdrawal. I identify that. So I'm wondering if you have any tips for transitioning families from with horrible diets like mine to healthier diets.
And so you have to start very small. That means 1 or 2 meals out of the week go healthy. Then the next following week you roll over. Now you're going to go to almost 1 or 2 meals again. The third week you go in, now you're going to have 3 to 4 diets that's healthy because you already retraining their taste buds for something different. I give a lot of tips on even dealing with kids because kids are easier to be swayed. I was telling Judith while I'm here, I want to attend to go to one of the elementary schools here to talk about healthy eating because I don't know what it is, but kids, they love to be switched quick and they go home and tell their parents about what they had healthy and then they call me constantly like, what did you feed my kid today? Because that's all they keep talking about. You know, I introduce them to things, but I make it fun. You have to make things, the easiest way to get a child to eat anything healthy, bring them in the kitchen while you're cooking because they like to try things that they put together. So make it an activity that everybody hey, I got you on onions, I got you going to do the tomatoes, you're going to put it inside the pot. When they're involved in something, they are more eager to try it. So I say involve them as much as possible. Even when you go to the grocery store, like, hey, I never tried that before. What do y'all think about that? Hey, we're going to bring that home tonight. We're going to try this tonight. And bring them in the kitchen and make it a game, because that's what I did. And I pulled my son over to the other side. I do not eat like my family eat. My mother is from the South, had high blood pressure. She don't anymore. They had her on medication for like 2 years. And so right now she is not on no type of medication, and she changed her diet just by me actually redoing her whole entire diet. She want to live, and she want to live a long time. And so right now she thinks she's 16, but she's really 65. But she thinks she's 16. She do, because she says she feels 16 again. It gives you that type of energy that will have you up at 2 o'clock and think you can still go to the club, and you can't. Have a seat. But next question.
Yeah, blessed. King Kali again. Yeah, tell a friend for tell a friend. I understand that you are looking at health from the foods that you consume, and mental health from more of the food that you consume.
Yes.
But I was hoping that you would touch on like our type of greens, if you get what I'm saying. Marijuana.
So greens, whether I say kale or whether I say spinach, green is green, no matter what it is.
I'm actually talking about marijuana.
Oh, marijuana? Oh, so I just had this conversation backstage. So let me tell you something. We were actually doing a conversation with the governor, and what we found in the U.S., and I don't know that y'all find this here, that those who actually had an increase in vitamin D did not get COVID, and those who smoke marijuana did not get it. There was a small percentage that got it. So I put this on my Facebook about who all smoke marijuana and did they get COVID, and everybody started chiming in. I didn't get it, I didn't get it, I didn't get it, I didn't get it. So why did they just take my post off Facebook? Marijuana is a herb. It was grown for the earth, through the earth, that I feel that the world is going to go in that direction. Because why? My patient that I had, 12 years old, cancer patient, she had a tumor in her brain. I worked with her because her mother did not want to do chemotherapy. Her mother wanted to do a plant-based diet for her daughter for survival. The chemo would break her system down and probably would rush her into dying quickly. So we changed her diet. She goes back to the doctor, and the doctor says she had a spontaneous remission. Oh, yeah, that's what they called it. She said, no. That's not a spontaneous remission. We changed my daughter's diet of how she was eating, and the tumor started to shrink. The little 12-year-old girl did not die from her brain cancer. She died from COVID. So I worked with her for 2 years. Not only did she change her diet, the whole family has to be on board. One person can't do it. It has to be everybody as a collective. So if you find out Pawpaw finna get a brand new heart and he's staying in your house, you cannot call me for a diet for Pawpaw and you think that he's gonna follow that diet when you bringing in fried chicken and shrimp fried rice and devil's food cake, and you think he don't want some. You're gonna kill him with his brand new heart. You have to make the change with him. So definitely, I feel with your question with marijuana that I feel the world is going in that direction because it is a healer. That a lot of people are not now doing it for, like I said, well, my patient was more for her nausea and more for her anxiety, that they prescribed her marijuana. And so her mom was open to her having it, but it had no effect on her. If anything, it soothed her more than anything. And so I'm definitely an advocate of it, but I'm saying when it's grown the right way, with the right chemicals and things of that nature, because some people, they getting out of hand with it now. I mean, it's purple and red and other colors, and I'm like, okay, now y'all doing too much. But if it's actually natural herbs, then yes, I'm totally standing with it. Yes. Multivitamins, I am not a big fan. I'm going to tell you why. Because if I'm eating right and I'm taking multivitamins, as soon as my doctor run a panel on me, I'm going to be over in my vitamin D. I'm going to be over in my vitamin E. I'm going to be over in my vitamin 12. Why? Because I'm taking a supplement and then I'm eating right. So you have to you can't straddle the fence. You got to take one or the other. A lot of people will eat a lot of sweet potatoes, which is good for depression, but yet they taking a vitamin D pill. No, do not take the vitamin D pill. You are already eating a lot of sweet potatoes. Either do one or the other, because what's going to happen is once you go to your doctor's going to say, hey, I just pulled your panel, and you're over in D, you're over in E. Like, what we need to do different here? You're going to have to lay off the supplements, or you're going to have to change how you eat. Any more questions? You say coconut? I love coconut oil. I use olive oil because my blood types require it. Coconut oil is completely different. I feel I had got coconut water when as soon as I came up in here, but coconut is good for infection. Very, very good. Even the meat itself is good as a healer. And so I press that inside the U.S., but a lot of people are known for having allergies there when it comes to coconut for some strange reason, but I stand strong with coconut. I just don't use the oil because my blood type doesn't require it.
Thank you so much. That was our last question. Can you put your hands together for Dr. Shane Jackson out of Michigan all the way to Jamaica?